All right. Thanks a lot for joining us again on TVC Breakfast. Let's check out the top stories in the newspapers right away, starting off with The Nation. Tinubu fires 5 ministers in major cabinets reshuffle. Ohaneye, Maman, 3 others out. And entering Bianca Ojukwu Yilwat Da, as well as 5 others at least. They've been nominated for now. It's now left for them to be screened by the Senate. In other stories, Attorney General in trouble over state suit against the FCC. Nigeria taking steps to strengthen the Naira, says Wale Edun. An FCCPC boss blames food inflation on hoarders. To the Punch now, private sector opposition split as Tinubu reshuffles cabinet. The organized private sector backs President Tinubu as opposition. CSOs and other Nigerians demand sack of more underperforming ministers, and that's the pictures of those in and the others out. FEC okays $618 million loan for fighter jets ammunition. Canadian lady jailed 11 years for importing 35.20 kilograms of cannabis. And fear of Onyon Dam as Ogun State Ogun communities reject Abiodo's relocation advisory. Dangote Refinery begins direct petrol sale to marketers. That's also on the Punch. And let's check out the Nigerian Tribune. From what we are seeing so far, the most prominent is the President Tinubu rejigging his 45-member cabinet, and there are a host of riders there, as well as details in this very big story. League of Northern Democrats essential for Nigeria's future, says former President Obasanjo. And many Nigerians facing difficulties in Naira as many Nigerians facing difficulties in the country as Naira shows signs of stability. That's according to FEC. I'll check them all out on the front page or inside the Nigerian Tribune. Silent Times now. Tinubu wields big stick, sacks 5 ministers, makes 7 fresh nominations, and of course more details there. Group fires back at Ekperikwe Ekpo's detractors, extols minister's excellent performance in office. Man arrested for allegedly defiling 12-year-old in Ogun State. Bobrisky falls ill in police custody, rushed to hospital. Next is Daily News Hub. Ondo poll, INEC begins PVC distribution on Thursday, that's today. And APC has shredded PDP's umbrella in Ondo State, says Governor Aiyedatiwa, who is one of the front runners. Tinubu scraps Niger Delta Sports Ministries, that's also there on Daily News Hub. Daily Independent now, mixed reviews trail Tinubu's major cabinet reshuffle and others. President fires 5 ministers, names 7 new ones, reassigns others. Benue Governor suspends Attorney General over suit challenging AFCC legality. FCCPC blames grain hoarders for rising food inflation in Nigeria. And just before I hand over to Theophilus, Senate, Afrexim Bank commits $200 million as FG okays Creative Economy Development Fund.
Moving now to Nigerian News Direct, it says explosive reshuffle. Tinubu appoints 7 new ministers, dismisses Maman, Ohaneye, others. FEC scraps Niger Delta Sports Ministries, establishes regional development. No basis for scrapping. Clark rejects dissolution of Niger Delta Affairs Ministry. Onu Mokri commends Tinubu's appointment of Ojukwu as Foreign Affairs Minister. Of course, you can see in the Nigerian News Direct the array of 7 ministers that have been newly appointed. New Telegraph says speculations over as Tinubu sacks Uju Kennedy, Tahir, 3 other ministers in cabinet rejig. FEC okays €443.3 million, $141 million facility from financiers to procure fighter jets and munitions. Unclaimed baggage at MM2 destroyed, given to charity after 6 months, says COO. This and many more in the New Telegraph newspaper this morning. This Nigeria says, why Tinubu fired 5 non-performing ministers. Ex-Education and Women Affairs Ministers Maman Ohuneye allegedly dropped for controversy in Varsity Board's constitution and discipline, respectively. Reassigns 10, appoints Ojuku's widow, 6 others, scraps Niger Delta Sports Ministry, merges tourism. You make our job easy, Senate tells Wike, as Minister flags of 3.5-kilometer roads in Mabushi area. Globally, presidents, governors detest their deputies succeeding them, says Oshoba. Of course, this and more in the this Nigerian newspaper this morning. The Voice of Liberty says Tinubu finally reshuffle cabinet, sacks some ministers, scraps 2 ministries. Obasanjo Danjuma demand paradigm shift in Nigeria's political leadership. Alleged bribery, misappropriation, cannot call the Jones Gunduja's case till November 20th. We move to The Guardian. Cautious optimism over Tinubu's reshuffled cabinet changes. NUC, NCDMB, others move to commercialize research and capital flight. Flood displaced 5 million Nigerians in 10 years. IMF talks Nigerians, other African governments on fiscal reforms, e-governance. The leadership says General Danjuma meets Northern Democrats over bad governance. Cabinet reshuffle. At last, Tinubu wields the big stick, sacks 5 ministers. Kennedy Ohaneye, Maman Ade John, Gwarzo Bio Ibrahim out. Bianca Ojukwu, 6 others nominated to face Senate screening. Niger Delta Sports Ministry scrapped. Gunmen kill 4 policemen in Katsina. Mohalu emerges president of African School of Governance. Naira now 1,725, 1,653 to $1 on parallel markets. Daily Trust, Tinubu sacks 6 ministers, appoints 7 others, reassigns portfolios to 10. Cabinet still over-bloated, says CSOs. Lean government workforce will cut waste, says ex-permanent secretary. Will resist attempt to scrap Niger Delta Ministry. Federal government gives Julius Berger ultimatum on Abuja Kaduna Kanu Road. Amidst tariff hike, demand consumers decry fast data depletion, poor connectivity. Diphtheria kills 1,191 in 17 months, says NCDC. The Daily Times says Tinubu sacks 5 ministers, reassigns 10 to new portfolios. Court orders release of Gambarian from prison as federal government drops criminal charges. Federal government urges states to boost climate change resilience. CBN's forex backlog clearance boost Naira stability, says IMF. First News says 20 Nigeria's education crisis. 20 million out-of-school children potential bandits. Akpabio sounds alarm. Senate calls for national summits to address crisis. Urges state governments to act before time bomb explodes. 15 states announce new minimum wage. Imo, 20 others yet to follow. The Platform Times says Governor Abiodun is a used and dumped politician, ex-IPAC leader. Student loan disbursement hits 10 billion naira, 350,000 applications received, says Nelfund. FEC scraps Niger Delta Development Sports Ministry, merges Culture Tourism Ministries. Ogun government warns residents of flood-prone areas to relocate. The Blueprint says FEC okays 443.3 million euro, 141 million dollars for 6 M346 fighter aircraft ammunition. Approves establishment of Creative Economy Fund. Clark rejects scrapping of Niger Delta Ministry as Tinubu drops Tahir for others. The Hope says Ayedatiwa disburses 1.4 billion naira to vulnerable Ondo residents. Traders, elderly, fiscally challenged top list of total 2 billion naira so far released to 7,500 persons, governor reveals. Ondo governorship, federal communities upbeat, pledge massive votes for Ayedatiwa. NNPP leaders strategize for Ondo Guba election. Bobrisky falls ill in police custody, rushed to hospital. And finally, from my end, Sporting Life newspaper says here, a permanent transfer. Osimhen gives Gala go-ahead to open talks. Ndidi is EPL best tackler. Lukman was close to joining Celtic, says Rogers. Pinnick hails Diko on appointment as chairman NSC. Arteta worried as Calafiori joins injury list. PSG are better off without Mbappe, says Henry. That's it for me.
All right, so much for the papers. Of course, we had quite a number with us, but if we narrow down, the big issue or big issues, but let me just say the big issue right now is the government reshuffle, and it has come with so many names.
Yes.
Those that survived, so to speak, and those that had to be excused, and all of that. Even your constituency wasn't exactly, immune from the shake-ups.
But many of us have,
in the creative industry.
Yeah, we believe that the ministry should merge rather than have one. In Lagos, we have Lagos State Ministry of Arts, Culture, and Tourism. The federal government should not be different. We should just have one so it can oversee, because they are all intertwined. They work together to ensure that the creative economy is vibrant. And so if we have, we have seen the Minister of Arts and Culture and Creative Economy, but for the Minister of Tourism
now.
It's not that vibrant as it were, and we expected a lot from the tourism sector because the industry has a lot to offer Nigeria.
In terms of, part of the clamor for the non-oil
non-oil sector and all of that. So it had a lot for the sector.
Generate more
just
income.
to tap into it, and we will get a whole lot. So this is quite a good development for all.
All right, and of course, there are so many. Enter back in Sunday Diary.
Sunday Diary is back in as an essay.
Former Minister of Sports now, and he's coming in. He'll be working in the Ministry of Information. So many, but then it remains to be seen, because from where you are, some would say it's a little too small. Some would say it's sufficient for now, but the federal government has said it's going to be a continuous process. This is the result of the screening.
Yes, the screening. But it should be actually so that it puts everybody on their toes.
On their toes.
Yes.
The new guys, those who have been there before. All right, we'll get some more time to